Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Spotlight Tuesdays with Coach BJ, our very first segment, and many more to come. So, for those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, my name is Bernitha James, aka Coach BJ. I am the CEO of The Source of Hope, which is a private life and coach practice. And I'm also the Chief Wellness Officer of CRM Optimization Group, an IT consultant firm. Currently, I host two virtual talks in the evening every first and third Thursdays at 7 p.m. One talk is with me personally, Transformational Talk with Coach BJ. And the second talk, I have an expert on who give their advice and expertise in their specific field. And you can catch those episodes again every first and third Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So again, welcome for those of you who are coming in. And today is my newest platform, Spotlight Tuesdays with Coach BJ. So again, it's my newest platform stream that I'll be doing every first and third Tuesdays at 12 o'clock noon. So you can catch me here every first and third Tuesdays at noon. And so the purpose of Spotlight Tuesdays with Coach BJ is this. It is twofold. One, I would like for our viewers to come on and hear the inspiring stories of men and women that have stepped out on faith and started their small business or their nonprofit organization, and to really hear their inspiring stories of how they got started, maybe some of the obstacles that they faced, and starting their organization. And one of the things is I'm hoping that it will ignite a fire in you to really listen to their stories. And hopefully there's something you can tap into within yourself to really determine, what your purpose is in life and how you're going to add value in life and solve a person's problem or help someone in need. So I'm hoping that this platform and listening to our guests will inspire you to look and see what your purpose and gift is and how you're supposed to be adding value to this world. So the second part of it is I want you to really listen to their business. If it's a small business, they may have products and services that you may be interested in. So it's a way to expose and highlight small businesses that are doing great things and they have great products that they can put out there and serve you. So products and or services. And then for our nonprofit organizations, you can hear, their organization's mission and a lot of the projects and things that they have going on in those nonprofits. And if you feel so led, you may want to volunteer your time, talent, or resources to this organization. You may want to donate. You may want to be, again, a part of this particular nonprofit organization in some type of way. So that is the purpose of Spotlight Tuesdays with Coach BJ. And before we get started, I encourage you, if you have any questions at any time, just know that I will be able to see your comments in the chat. Any real-time questions you want to ask our guest, I will put those up on the screen and allow her to answer them. And if there's any other questions that come in later, we will definitely have a question and answer or comment section towards the end of our segment today. So our special guest today is founder Ziesta Browning, aka Z, of the Becoming Project. And this guest truly is one that is near and dear to my heart. I'm so glad she is our very first guest on Spotlight Tuesday. She is actually my business partner in our global IT consultant firm. That we managed together. So I am so excited that she came on and agreed to do this and really talk about the Becoming Project, because the Becoming Project is really doing some great things. And so I wanted to really spotlight this organization so our viewers can hear more about the opportunities that you have, again, to volunteer or donate your time, talents, and resources to this organization if you feel led to do so. So Z, I will turn it over to you and wanted to first ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background before we get into the details of the Becoming Project.
Well, just let me say thank you for inviting me. I feel so honored being the first guest. And of course, we have so many different monikers we could say about each other, but I am absolutely honored. This is a great platform, and I look forward to seeing more and more things as they go forward in 2021. But just a little bit about me. I don't like to talk about myself, but I will. I am the founder and executive director of the Becoming Project. And I'm also the CEO and managing partner of CRM Optimization Group, which is a technology company. I have been in the Salesforce industry and technology for over 20 years, but specifically in Salesforce for 16 years. I am a very proud mother of two very handsome sons, and I have three beautiful granddaughters. I didn't get the daughters, but I got the granddaughters, so I get to do all of that stuff in the second generation.
All right.
Very passionate about STEM, about the community, about really increasing our opportunities to earn. Um, and those are the things that drive me every day. Those are the things that link me to all of the things that I do, is just wanting to see people prosper, wanting people to be successful in all that they do, and looking to see what I can do, to help in any way that I can.
Awesome, awesome. So now that we know a little bit more about you, so now I would like for you to tell us a little bit more about the Becoming Project and what inspired you to start this organization.
Absolutely. Well, the Becoming Project Inc. is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that I started back in 2009. And it's funny that you asked me how did it start, because it actually started with a trip to Europe and a resignation letter.
Wow.
Absolutely. So, as I said, I've been in IT for more than 20 years, and I took a leisure trip, a vacation for the first time in a long time to Europe. And while I was abroad, I actually met Z. I actually had an opportunity to get back in tune with myself and who I am and the things that I love about me and I love about life. And I brought that back home. And coming home into an IT organization where I was working 24/7. Again, my two sons, as a single mom, working very hard to give them a life that I felt like they deserved. And it required a lot of work. That's what I thought. And so when I came back, God really inspired me to start the Becoming Project Inc. Simply because I saw so much of the Z that I had lost in just directing myself in one situation after the other. As I said, I was a single mom. I was a teenage mom. So I had my oldest son, as a teenager. And so, as we know, life and situations and circumstances cause you to make one decision after the next decision after the next decision, sometimes out of desperation, sometimes out of just need. And so it wasn't until I took that break that I was able to see that old Z. And part of that is all of the gifts and talents that God has blessed me with. I always wanted that one thing. I was always jealous of people who knew exactly what they were built for. Do so many things. Every time I put my hand to something, it would be great. Not to brag, but it would just happen. And I'm like, man, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's like, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. So when I got back from Europe and I tried to put my square peg back into that round hole of corporate America, it just didn't fit anymore. Put myself back into that thing. And I realized that it was a lot of people out there just like me who had purpose in their belly, who had in what we call an individual greatness that just was ready to be discovered and manifested. And so, me being the cheerleader of the kingdom, God showed me that the reason I see so many, I can do so many things is because I'm a talent scout for God. I can see a vision. I can see a purpose. I can see, and I've never, ever, ever met a vision or a goal that I didn't love. If somebody said they wanted to go to the moon, I'd be trying to figure out who I know at NASA that I can hook them, get on that spaceship. So it was that point of not being able to get back into corporate America. I tendered my resignation to a very lucrative career, one that I had been deemed as, just a franchise player, meaning they were not going to lose me in any way. I had been
Mhm.
given assurance of that. But you know how God has his own way. He
Oh,
has
yeah.
he gonna do, and he does not need your permission, nor did he pull me to the side and say, "Z, you gonna quit your job," because afraid. I would have been afraid had I not been in the midst of a situation where I could not stay the same. You know, that's what pushed me to
Right.
the
And that's good.
prayer.
I mean, I was gonna say, and that's good because I mean, the fact what I heard you say is that, of course you took a trip and like you said, you found yourself,
Mhm,
right? And in the busy life that we have, a lot of times we don't take the time to step back and really assess
mhm,
where we are in our life. A lot of us are unhappy in our jobs and our careers,
mhm.
and we don't really know why. And really it's because you're not really living out your purpose and your God-given talent
Right.
to be doing in life. So a lot of times that is an indication for you to really take a step back and say, maybe I need to take a day or two off work. Maybe I just need to
Mhm,
step away from my normal environment and really see, what am I here to do, right? So that is great. So that looks like that's really what God really gave you the direction on how
mhm.
you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. So tell me, what are some of the obstacles you face? Because a lot of times when people start businesses and start nonprofit organizations, there's some obstacles that they face. So what are some of
Mhm.
the obstacles that you face, and what are some of the things you can tell the viewers on how they can overcome maybe one or two of the obstacles that you faced when you first started?
So one of the biggest obstacles, I would say I have an administrative obstacles, which I think is going to be a practical help for those who want to start an organization. But I also have a Z obstacle, a personal obstacle. And let me just put a disclaimer. I am not telling anybody to just quit their job. But one of my obstacles was comfort, being comfortable in the situation. The job that I left was the job. I had never made that much money in my whole life. It was a dream job. I was in IT. I was, as I said, a franchise player, meaning, hey, I was going to be with that company until I retired. I had that type of assurance, and I was deeply embedded into the fabric of that company and their growth and development. And so for me to hand that resignation in, for me to sit across the table with that CIO and say, hey, my time is up. It's time for me to move on. And my heart was beating behind my chest, and I went from one executive to the next executive. They had me lined up, girl, with like three executives back to back.
Wow.
And by the time the second executive, when I was walking from one office to the next, I was like, Lord, are you sure this is what you want me to do? Because I'm like, I'm about to, I have two boys at the house that I have to feed, and I don't have anything. And so that was the biggest thing, getting beyond myself, being sure and what God had told me to do.
Mhm.
Faith in that and stepping out on faith, my God, with what God had asked me to do. The next thing I think is more practical. In starting the Becoming Project, I just had this passion. I had this drive. I had this thing that God had told me to do. And I finally felt like I was in my flow and I had found what I was supposed to do. So I just jumped out there. I didn't know what I was doing. I out there and started a nonprofit and started reading and finding books and doing all kinds of things. And so if I could talk to Z back then, that would be 12 years ago. This August would be 12 years of
Wow.
12-year anniversary. I would tell her, slow down, sister, and just wait just a little while before you get entangled with your IRS status and tax
Yes.
ID numbers and all of those types of things. Allow your program to blossom and bloom. Start out with volunteering and connecting with other organizations that actually serve the constituency that you and your services and your programs will also serve. Start by doing that, partnering with people and helping those individuals and get kind of a litmus test of how your services will received and what you're actually going to do before you begin to throw a lot of time and energy and money. The second thing I would say is I self-funded my nonprofit, meaning I
Mhm.
put all the money. I didn't look for external funding sources or anything like that. Even though I had corporate fundraising experience, for some
Mhm.
reason it was just my baby. I wanted it to do things, and I wanted to do it on the fly. And so I would say, in taking time and pulling back, you're able to actually plan, and you're able to see funding sources and organizations that would definitely want to invest in the things that you're doing. The part of having partnered and done services is that you build up a track record for which you can actually lean on, and people will begin to see that you are very capable of performing what your program is setting out to do. You want to be successful in all of it, and you want to help people. And so I believe that getting more funds actually help you expand your program. So that's something that you would want to do. That's something that you would want um, to line out. And the third thing is get a mentor. Get someone who you can pick up the phone and say, Bernita, I don't know what just happened, or I don't know what's going on, or I want to do this. Is this a wise thing for me to do? Go find someone. If you're doing 15 things, and most of the time we are innovative and there's something that no one else is doing around us, find somebody that's doing 12 out of 15 of those things and get you a core. And then you focus on those three things that are the differentiators between you and that other organization. But just being able to pull back and look at it, I would definitely say those are some things that I would tell a 12-year younger Z. Come on, girl, this is how you're going to have longevity. But it's been by the grace of God and having a passion and a heart to keep on, even in the times when you know it was lean, or it was hard or difficult. Those are the things that kept me going and kept me pushing forward.
Right. Well, that is awesome. So, I mean, I just heard you really talk about not only your biggest mistake, your biggest fears, some of
Mhm.
the things that you've had to overcome. And it's just really good, for viewers to really hear, if you're looking to get into some of these things, she provided a lot of great points about, really stepping out on faith and really, having a mentor, really doing, various things. So that is, a lot of the instrumental, essential things that you need to know before getting to anything. Don't go at it alone. I mean, because you can't rise
Mm.
by yourself. You really want to bring people in who maybe have more experience and more knowledge than you have to really help you to get you to where you want to be. So that's great. So what I want to move into now really is just to really talk about the Becoming Project, some of the projects that you guys have. How do you give back to the community? Let's talk about that first before we get into some of the new things you have on the horizon.
Awesome. So, in starting the Becoming Project, one of the things that really pushed me as far as deciding what programs to um, offer was, what am I good at? Where do I have experience in? And so having 20 years of IT experience and 16 years of Salesforce experience, you know where I landed. My heart landed on Salesforce. So one of the first programs that I started was the Becoming a Force program, which I actually started shortly after I started the organization in 2010. And the Becoming a Force program is actually a program that's designed to jumpstart and transition individuals in their career to actually get experience in a certification, a professional certification in Salesforce, which is an application that is very hot in the industry right now. It's a high paying skill. We're talking, the, you know, uh, you can make upwards of six figures, with that certification. It's something that's a non-traditional route. Some people are looking to change their lifestyle, change their course, and, especially with the situation and the climate of today. A lot of may have had jobs in which we had to work and go into the office. And with Salesforce being cloud based is something that allows people an opportunity to put the transition into technology, into the STEM profession. So that was one of the first programs we started.
Okay.
Near and dear to my heart. Made some mistakes there too, just when you know, wanting everyone to win and wanting everyone to be successful. Sometimes you can be more, um, have more passion for someone's success than they have of themselves.
Absolutely.
One of the lessons I learned that people have to want it. They have to want to be successful, and knowing that you offer a program and you offer tools, but people have to be willing and ready to use those tools for their own personal success. So that's one of the programs. And another program that we have is a God's Girl event. Oh my, we started back in 2017. God's Girl is actually a lifestyle brand. It's for the Christian woman of every age, from birth to 150. Being a God's girl was my own personal proclamation and declaration that I am Daddy's girl. I am God's girl, and it's a place where we can come together as women of God, Christian believers, and people who want to show a positive view and a positive aspect of life. We see so many different visions and different versions of womanhood in media. And so I wanted an opportunity to show a different side, where we can, come together, no drama, just fellowshipping and building each other up, and, celebrating how beautiful and wonderfully made we are. And also understanding that we have so much to offer, not only each other, but the world. And so we've had events every other year. 2017 was our first year. We had a pep rally, God's Girl pep rally. Last year, 2019, we had Make It Rain tour, where we came back and we restored some territories and for empires for God. And it's 2021. So I'm putting it out there that this is the year. We've been doing it every other year. So I am excited about what we're going to do this year, the God's Girl event, bringing everybody together. But those are two of the major programs that we have done. And we also have been feeding during this time where people are food insecure. Since August of last year, September of last year, we have been feeding families in the Conyers and Covington area so that we can make sure that everyone has what they need. And that has been a blessing to be able to provide that food for the community.
And one of the ones that I want to bring up that I was actually a part of is the Caravan of Prayer, where we went
Oh,
around
wow.
praying, in different areas across Georgia, and just really praying for our country and really doing a lot of prayer, because there's been so many things that has been going on. So I was actually a participant in that project, and it was just great. And hopefully we'll be able to do more like that. But our country as a whole and our world really needs prayer. So that was also a great thing that fell up under the Becoming Project that I just wanted to kind of mention as well. So also wanted to see, now that we know what your existing projects are, what are you looking to launch this year and implement? So we know the God's Girl event is coming back. So what are some of the new programs that people can take advantage of?
Well, I'm super excited about 2021. I mean, we had so much going on last year that kind of stunted us, caught us off guard. And one of the programs that is so near and dear to my heart is Teach 10. The Teach 10 program, 2020 was supposed to be its inaugural year, but unfortunately, with so many different things happening with the pandemic, we decided to just wait and launch it and give it its just due. So in June of this year, we will be launching our Teach 10 program, which actually is an opportunity for you corporations that's out there for you
Yeah.
to partner with the Becoming Project. What Teach 10 stands for is we're actually partnering with corporations for them to designate resources and funds to teach 10 students. Our goal is to get 100 corporations to pledge and to provide funding and resources for 10 students to go through Salesforce training. That's 1,000 students. Those that can change the life and the trajectory of so many families. So the constituency and the target audience for this program, that excites me as well. We're actually looking to serve individuals who have, aged out of the foster care program. And they are often so many times they're overlooked, and no one really has anything out there to help them get on their feet, to help them reconnect with the potential that they have. Hey, we are the Becoming Project, able to help them realign and connect with a industry that can provide them with substantial income and a way to make a living, but also not just the financial aspects. That program also encompasses mental and physical health as well, through mentorship and counseling, because we understand that an individual is, body, mind, and spirit and soul. There's so many different compartments and components that need to be in place for success to really happen. We can't just give people money and throw them at a job and not and overlook the fact that a lot of these foster care kids have gone through, rejection after rejection, abuse, um, all types of feelings that, we that end up in their adult life that hinders them. So we want to deal with all of those things and help them to be successful through this program. We've also, in this program, we're earmarking part of the funding for college students as well as some high school students. So we're talking about getting people started in STEM early and getting them out there and really helping them just get on their feet. I feel like if we as a community begin to look at those who are hurting, those who are lost, those who just need a little bit of direction, that we can increase and better the society that we live in, where we are, who we are. We can do some magnificent things right around our door, right around our neighborhood, right in our community. And so that is a part of what Teach 10 is really geared towards. So I'm really excited about that. We have some other things on the horizon, but we're really taking it slow. Remember, I'm taking my own advice. I've colored my gray, but it's still there. So I do have wisdom up under this red, y'all. We're taking it a little bit slower and making sure that we are rooted in the community. One thing I'm excited about is that we're moving to Barnesville, Georgia. So if anybody know anybody in Barnesville, tell them the Becoming Project is coming your way. And we look forward to providing some services there. One of the things that is really on the forefront is having a place for workforce development and training, and opening up a center there, and other services that we mentioned as far as Teach 10, that counseling, that that mental health, being able to have a place for those counselors, those professionals like Coach BJ can come help our students, our young adults,
Absolutely.
help them transition to a positive life. And I get excited. You can tell I'm super excited about what we can do. I mean, I'm just one person, but I feel like with God we can do anything.
Yeah, and I was going to say that leads me to the next thing. So, for our viewers that are watching and those who will come back and watch the replay, can you talk about any opportunities that we might have with the Becoming Project, and if so, what areas would be good for people to think about if they want to volunteer or look at some opportunities with the Becoming Project moving forward? What are some of those things you can share with us today?
Absolutely. One of the things I'm going to start with the least intrusive to, the least of things. The very least you can do is spread the word. Tell somebody
Mhm.
about the Becoming Project. We're right here in Georgia, in Covington, Conyers, Barnesville. We've gone a lot of places and we are willing to go anywhere to help anyone. But just word of mouth, get the word out there. The next thing is that we are actually registered with Amazon.com as a nonprofit. Now that means that any purchase that you purchase on Amazon, part of that proceed goes to supporting the programs that we've talked about right here in your community, the people that you know. So you don't have to change anything that you're doing. It's just going to smile.amazon instead of amazon.com and just making your purchases as usual. Anybody in the world can do that. um, Next
Absolutely.
thing is we have our website, thebecomingproject.org. We'll have volunteer activities posted there. We're looking forward to getting pulling together what I call the gifted. We call gathering the gifted so that we can
Yeah.
come together and begin to affect a concerted effort, coming together and as a collective and beginning to see the areas that we can affect change. If there's anything that we've spoken about, if you are involved with the foster care program or high school kids or even know kids in your family, please feel free to go to our website and fill out the contact form and say, hey, see, I saw you on Coach BJ's show and live, and I want to find out what we can do as a family. What can I do for my nephews? What can I do for my nieces? I want us to really begin to reinvent and take the lid off of the ways that we can help, because you can help. You right there, the one who think that everything is going wrong in my life. Do you understand that you can help someone else? That God has created something magnificent in you, something that no one else has, an individual greatness that no one else has had before this time and no one else will have after this time. This time, right here, right now, that individual greatness is at the right time to bring glory and to bring prosperity to you and to the Lord.
This is awesome. Well, everyone, there you have it. If this organization speaks to you, if you would like to volunteer, become a partner with this organization, as she said, I'm going to go ahead and put in the banner to show you guys the information. So if you want to reach out directly, is Yester at thebecomingproject.org is her direct email. Or you can go to the website, as she mentioned earlier, www.thebecomingproject.org, and put in contact information. So again, if you are a part of the foster care system in any type of organization, we would love to have you partner with her. Also, any volunteers, if this type of organization, ministry, whatever is leading you, if this speaks to you, definitely reach out to see how you can use your talent and resources to be a blessing to this nonprofit organization. We so appreciate you watching. And now I will allow for any comments or questions if you have before we leave today. I will go back to the chat and see. There are so many people that joined and have spoke to us and said hello and talked about the opportunities and possibilities that we have. Does anyone have any questions before we end today? I try to keep it right at 30 minutes. We're a little bit over today, but I want to definitely stay over. And if anyone have any questions or comments that they would like to put in the chat, definitely do that. But if not, again, you have the contact information to reach out to Z directly. Feel free to reach out to me personally at _BJ on all of my platforms. On Facebook, it is at The Source of Hope 1 on Facebook. So any of those social media platforms, feel free to reach out to me directly if you have any questions, or reach out to Z directly if you have any questions or would like to become a partner with this project. So Z, I'll leave you with the final words and we will end.
Well, my final word is just, man, if you guys have not already uh, joined, subscribed to all of Coach BJ's platform, I'm serious. I love you, but I love the work that you're doing. I love that you are transforming people's lives. And that's what it's really all about, looking outside of yourself and seeing what you can do. Because oftentimes we are so focused on ourselves and our situations that we don't lift our head up to see that this person right here needs something that we have in great abundance. So I just want to encourage you to continue to support her in all that she does. She's a beautiful human being, an amazing person, an amazing partner in business and everything. She's just awesome.
Well,
I'm biased, but I'm not biased. Um, but I just say, as individuals in this world, you have so much to offer. And I would just encourage you, if you've never taken the time to really see and evaluate and look internally for who you are and what your purpose and what your value is to this world, I would encourage you to do so, because it's the Becoming Project, which is a fluid and working and moving and growing thing. The Becoming Project, you are a work in progress. I am a work in progress. And we just keep getting better and better and better as time goes on. So I would encourage you to look inside of yourself, find that individual greatness that you were born with, and just lay it on the world. Just go out there and be great with your blessed and become, all that God has for you to be.
All right. Well, thank you for those final words. I want to thank everybody for watching. I didn't see any further chats in there other than just a hello. So thank you guys for watching and sticking it out with us. We appreciate you. Just know that we'll be back here the first Tuesday, February 2nd. I will have a new guest sharing their business with us and her inspiring story. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.